Good afternoon, everyone. Here in Southwest Japan, we're in the Kyushu portion of the Japanese archipelago here for round 2 of Formula Hololive Japan here in Autopolis. And speaking of Autopolis, let's take a look back into what the Autopolis racetrack looks like. 4.6 kilometers worth of racetrack here, 19 corners in total. And as you can see here, we're going to be racing for 54 laps for a total of 250 kilometers here in this round. We're looking at target lap of maybe 125.964. Let's see if these drivers can beat this time comfortably. And it's also a split round. After, we do want to mention to you all that there has been a change in the schedule. But first of all, we want to mention that this track is currently located in Oita, the Oita prefecture in the Kyushu part of Japan. And if I'm not mistaken, the Shiragai Noel mentioned that her hometown is in Oita. So we can consider this to be Shiragai Noel's home race. And for her driver, Michael Turner, he's got everything. He's got all he needs. He's got probably everything to play for to bring home a win for Shiragai Noel and Kishidan. And speaking of the schedule, here's the schedule update that we want to mention to you. There is the round 1 All-Bright Parade Grand Prix that was already been done. We're redoing round 2 after a messy round 2 that we've had previously in April. Here's the Autopolis Superprix. Welcome everyone to the stream. And then we'll be racing at Tokachi and Sepang for rounds 3 and 4. And then for the knockout season, for rounds 5 to 8, we have Buriran, Suzuka, Motegi, and Okayama to close out the season. Anyways, without the way, let's take a look back into the overall standings here. But obviously, we've seen some name changes that we've already explained a few times over. But that's not the important part. Let's take a look into Split A, because that here is where we need to pay attention to, because Callum Gibbens is entering this race as the defending race winner of the All-Bright Parade Grand Prix. And while Suharto not far behind in second, Rim Olgord, as we mentioned, takes over from a Hans-Harry Heinz in the Ozora Subaru car. John Mead is in 4th in the Hachama car at 130 points. Hofu Mead, 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series champion, representing Tokunosora. 5th place currently. Ri Liu takes over from Ben Ripton in the Sakamata Chloe car. He's in 6th. Kaminari Reba 7th in the Omaru Polka car. Salmaman 8th in the ASCII ride. And then 9th we have the Robert Kurisha for Takani Lui replacing Alikan Aster. And Raji Kaczynski 10th place for Yuzuki Choko. Griffin Wheatley for Kazama Iroha is in 11th. Sari Kaimo Laplas Darkness in 12th. Zeke Wimberly for Hakui Koiri in 13th. Michael Turner for Shiragai Noel is 14th. And Daniel Bauer, despite crashing out in the previous race at Fuji, did crash last out of the 4 drivers who also crashed. So he gets 1 point. Then we have Isekai Jimikole, Makoto Miyamoto, and Mohamed Shazren Reza looking to open up their points tally for the 2023 season. So anyways, welcome on board to everyone in the stream as we're about to cut over into the qualifying session. I'm Mohamed Shazren Reza in the commentary booth. And right now we're about to get this qualifying session underway. And alongside me in the commentary booth is Zeke Wimberly in the booth. Well, basically he has the Hakui Koiri car under his control. But excuse me while I adjust the comments. But before Z, you can mention about the about your opinions. I'm gonna need to adjust the volume. Okay, so Z. So we're about to get this qualifying session underway here at Autopolis. I want to hear your thoughts.
My thoughts is that Michael Turner should come back out of nowhere from 4 points to like 204, because that would be A, really silly, and B, would be really convenient because this is Noel's home race. So maybe I could find another comeback win. Well, they can. Anyway, I just like seeing comeback wins, that's all.
An underdog victory in a sense, good for Yuzi. Anyways, another one that we need to pay attention for is Mohamed Shazren Reza, who is currently down in points. As in really down in points, let's be fair, because he had crashed out in the middle of the Split A race, which did score points. But there is promise in this ride, because this car did win the Holo 27-2-27 against 26 other cars. So If we're looking at another guy that may be able to spoil the party of some, watch out for this car.
Unless of course it crashes out like last time, you know, but that surely won't happen this race because that would just be really unlucky. But yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna be scrolling over to a few more drivers here. Michael Turner is already on his out lap. However, we already have Hasuri Kaimov is already starting her lap. So let's take a look back into. Oh, Juan Suarto is currently having problems in pit lane. This is pretty weird.
Does the pit lane Reaper strike yet again?
Maybe it's only for one car because Juan Suarto is probably stuck there. But meanwhile, let's take a look back into guys who will start their lap. Callum Gibbens, the incumbent race winner from last March. So Callum Gibbens, representing Roboco in the number 64 Lexus, is about to get into the final two corners. This is turn 18, heading into turn 19 for the main straight at the best exit possible for what should be a very long straight. You really want to stretch the legs of this car. Heading into turn 1, brake at 100-meter board. Take it at around 4th gear. Carry as much speed as you can. Heading into turn 3, which is a 90-degree left-hander. It is pretty open, so you can take it at maybe 4th gear. And then you have the tight and twisty turns 4, 5, and 6. You might want to shift down to maybe 3rd or 2nd gear. And then exit turn 6 for the long sweeping section to turn 7, 8, and 9. A lot of medium high-speed corners in this circuit. This will definitely play the hands of tire wear. Heading into the hairpin of turn 11. Brake at around just after the 100-meter board. Off camber, so you really need to be careful with the throttle inputs. Into the downhill back straight into turn 12. You can just shift down to 5th gear. Just shows you how much speed these cars are carrying at this Autopolis track. Into turns 14 and into the long right-hander of turn 15, into the left-hander of 16. Lots of medium high-speed corners into turn 17, and this is a very fast corner. You can really be able to take it around 5th quarter, almost flat out, nearly spinning out there, Callum Gibbons, and then exiting the final corner for what should be a very fast lap. Callum Gibbons' lap time is currently at a 1:25.759, but let's take a look back to some of the other drivers.
As you saw there is a very high variety of straights and corners, so it is an overall very balanced track. There are quite a few overtaking opportunities if you are fortunate enough, or unfortunate enough. Just overall, like an anybody can win kind of track. So it'll be very nice to see how this very crucial opening. Yeah, there we go.
Anyways, Michael Turner sets the 4th fastest lap time there. Looks to be inside the 2nd row of the grid, doing the Kishidan very well there. But Daniel Bauer is still showing up though, after crashing out in the F Holo race and after winning the Split A race in Hololive GT3. Daniel Bauer has really shown to be a very talented driver behind the wheel, that number 6600ML car, and it's now coming into the pits. And as you can see here on the side of the car, there's also a new logo.
Very, very nice logo. You should all admire it. But Daniel Bauer definitely out there to show that they really can pull out a race quite nicely after they just crashed out last race. So it'll just be nice to see Bauer hopefully have a smooth race this race.
Anyways, another surprise that we want to mention here, Ri Liu. Basically has seen some time behind the wheel of this Sakamata Chloe car at Sugo, but obviously that round has been scrapped for the greater good of this racing series. Anyways, the only driver who have not set a time is Juan Suarto, but let's further talk about Ri Liu. Ri Liu is currently in his 2nd race weekend in this Sakamata Chloe car, the Formula Hololive regulation car. So Ri Liu has something to play for. And also Michael Turner, we mentioned that he wants to show up for Shirogane No. He's now currently up to 3rd.
All hustle, all muscle.
All hustle, all muscle. Con muscle indeed if you are a part of the Kishidan. But also, we want to mention about some of the other drivers here. We are currently 8 minutes of we only have 8 minutes of qualifying left. And here is a driver that really needs to perform today because tomorrow is Takane Louise's birthday. And she's gonna have a stream tomorrow. So with Roboco is currently just inside the points position for the start of this race. It's currently down at 15, so he's definitely on the outside looking in my opinion.
We gotta find a hopefully alright lap time for Carisha. Just a guaranteed, well, not a guaranteed, but hopefully just a somewhere around 125, 126 would be an ideal set lap time, as that will put them at least within the top 10.
Anyways, we do mention that he's currently 1.1 seconds off of Daniel Bowers' pole time, and if he wants to get a top 10 position, he needs to beat Raja Kaczynski's time, on which he's currently not finding the extra 0.3 of a second. So right now, Robert Croatia has a lot to do to bring this Takane Loi card up to the front. As you can see, Kaminari Riba gets out on track. I want to see if Wawan Suharto, Wawan Suharto has had problems exiting pit lane and he has kind of broken the car in the process, so he probably will not be taking any further part in this qualifying session as he needs to fix the car and get it ready for the race.
Just a little technical difficulty. It's a little silly, but I guess the pit lane Reaper wasn't completely patched out yet, so
it's only for one car, so I think it's pretty okay. But if the pit lane Reaper does hit once again, then there will be swift actions. We do have learned of what happened last April, so we have basically, how do we put this, put all of that to good use. As you can see here, all of the cars are all making it into qualifying, and it looks like we will have a problem-free pit stop session coming into this race.
That'll hopefully be a nice breath of fresh air after the abomination that was last race.
Yeah, the last race is Sugo. Let's all forget that ever happened. Anyways, let's take a look into the current qualifying standings. Gruffin Wheatley beats John Meade in the Kazuma Iroha car. Car number 16 in 16th place.
Fighting for the silver spoon, Wheatley and Meade. But I mean, they're not in last place, so props for that.
And looking into back in the top 5, Fumi is currently in 5th place, and as you can see here, Fumi is currently inside the top 5 of the standings. Currently 5th behind Callum Gibbons and all that stuff. So we are starting to see some championship favorites heading into coming into this race and into this qualifying session here. Fumi is of course one of them. I mean, he has shown that he has had a lot of pace during his time in Hololive GT3, especially his blistering run in the postseason.
Man, the token of Sora car just absolutely dominated last year, 2022, I believe. Yeah, they were just an absolute force to be reckoned with. So I'm wondering if they can keep up the same pace within Holo Formula.
We have Formula Hololive, yes, and currently Hofumi showing that got potential, and we have the cues that Hofumi has been a very talented driver. Now, a bit of a history thing. Last year in 2022, before Hofumi, there was Gabriel Ariadne, and Ariadne in Hololive GT3 got 2 wins, and Hofumi grabbed 3. And so that means in Hololive GT3, the Tokino Sora car had 5 wins, and which actually ties the record for most wins for an individual car in Hololive GT3. And look at Kaminari Riba, currently stealing 9th place.
I'm a little salty because they took that place from me, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers. 10th place is alright. That's like completely average.
Anyways, Kaminari Riba still has a long way to go, and as you can see here on that rear wing end plate there is a logo for Hololive's 5th festival, Hololive's 5th Gen 5 live, which will be for next month, the Twinkle for You live stream. the concert featuring Shishiro Botan, Omaru Polka, Yukihana Lami, and Momosuzu Nene due to take place in July. There will also be an announcement of another race in July, as we are going to be mentioning soon, so stay tuned. Anyways, back on to who was I talking about? Fumi. There's only 3 cars in Hololive GT3 that have scored 5 wins. That's the Yukihana Lami Honda, the Himemori Luna Honda, and the Tokino Sora Nissan. Now, we do want to remember about Putri Farah Kamal being able to score 5 wins in 12 races in the Yukihana Lami car. And then we have one of the best Hololive GT3 drivers up in the field, Mama Shazren Riza, winning for Himemori Luna 5 times in 2022. So, 2 of these drivers are currently in this race, but it looks like Fumi has the upper hand.
Definitely. Looking at the placements right now, Shazren Reza is currently around 3 placements behind Fumi. It seems Shazren Reza, of course, has been having bad luck so far. Crashed out last race and everything due to, well, an unfortunate accident. And it seems that, at least until proven not, it seems that Shazren Reza really just only dominates the Hololive GT3.
Well, let's see if he can get his fortune change in Formula Hololive. And speaking of changes, let's take a look at this helmet though. It's a blue helmet. Now the helmet is a bit incomplete because we forgot to put like the crescent on top to make it like a Lunite helmet. But on the right side of the helmet here, there's also the Himemori Luna logo. So that's just one of the few custom helmets that we have been opening up to drivers. So of course, this one is one of them.
And it's our joy to announce that you have the chance to submit a custom helmet for your drivers. Yeah, yay.
Yeah, that is if you are a participating driver. Any participating driver can submit like a helmet design, and we'll get it sorted. Because there was a contest coming into the Hololive GT3 opening weekend, and there was a vote on which helmet has been the best. We have had Hanaori Miyuki's helmet, and then we have Sean Pauly's helmet, Sean Pauly will race tomorrow, and there's also Monica Shalage's helmet. And amongst the 3 helmets submitted for the final voting, Hanori Miyuki's won by a good amount over Sean Pauly's. So she's got a good design, but maybe it's because that she is a VTuber and yeah.
And the reason there is probably so little helmets submitted was because I don't think many of us were very talented in graphic design. So
that's one thing.
That was a little silly.
That's a bit silly. But don't worry. For all of those who don't have creativity in helmet design or not being able to do these graphic designs, there is a website for each of these drivers for them to like create their custom-made helmets. We're having this general discussion. You can go there if you want to find a link. So there's a link for all the drivers to go to if they want to like create their custom helmet. So don't worry. I'll probably process these designs and implement these into each of these cars. So yeah, that's that.
But enough about just like passive stuff. We're looking at the current standings right now. Nothing has changed. It seems that the positions are set in stone for the main race. The qualifying is just about over.
And speaking of which, we wanted to like confirm to everyone of the current standings. Here we have Juan Suarto not being able to continue any further in this race, in this qualifying session. He will start 18th in this race on the back of the grid. John Mead currently 17th place for Hachama. Garfield Wheatley 16th. Oh, never mind. John Mead gets up to 15. Beats Kerwisha and Wheatley at the same time.
Yippee. Mead is just inside the points. Hopefully scoring at least a point for Hachama.
Anyways, Hachama is still recovering from whatever ailment that she's having. Wishing her the best of health as Mead tries to get something for Akai Hato. Rybak in 9th, Miyamoto's currently in 7th. Rim Olgor is in 6th. Fumi 5th. Really surprises everyone in 4th. Michael Turner is about to be in the 2nd row. Callum Gibbons looks to start on the front row. And your provisional pole sitter is Daniel Bauer.
overall, we have quite a few fan favorites to vote on. We have actually except for Gibbens, the podium right now is completely full of people that are coming, back. They're comeback kids, So this will be very exciting to watch.
So basically, we want to talk. So basically, the guys who are currently inside the top 3 positions are those who have already proven themselves at Fuji and are currently the points leaders. So that's an interesting thing to see. Meanwhile, let's take a look back into the starting lineup for this race here at the Autopolis Superprix Split A race. So let's take a look here. Daniel Bauer is your pole sitter in the Yozora Mel car. Currently sitting with a 125.345, beats the lap time record by 6 seconds. And then we had Callum Gibbens, previous race winner at Fuji, currently 2nd place for Roboco. Michael Turner in Shirogane Noel's home race will start 3rd place in the Shirogane Noel car. And then we have Ri Liu. Sorry if we misplaced the Japanese flag. Rio is actually Malaysian. Lining up on the 2nd row alongside Michael Turner in the Sakamata Chloe car. Hofumi, 2022 Japan Series champion, starts 5th alongside Rim Olgor in the Ozora Sparrow car. Hofumi represents Tokyo Ozora. Makoto Miyamoto, decent run for her in 7th place in the Tsunomaki Watami car. It's an all Gen 4 front row with Momosha Reza qualifying in 8th place for Himimori Luna. Kaminari Riba for Omar Polka has that Twinkle For You logo on the rear wing end plate. Qualifies 9th for Omar Polka, and for the Zain watching, they got something to watch out for. Zeke Wimberly scores his first top 10 start in Formula Hololive, albeit in splits, currently in 10th. Raj Gaziski in 11th for Yuzuki Choko lines up in 11th place. Chris Salman, car number 12 in 12th place, representing ASCII. Sakaji Mikolet, 13th place in the Sakaramiko car number 35. And Sari Kaima lines up alongside Isakaijin in the Laplace car number 39. John Mee in the Akai Hato car lines up 15th. The last spot inside the points. Let's see if you can stay there. Griffin Wheatley 16th in the Takane Louis car. Let's see if Croatia can get this thing can get this car done. Griffin Wheatley outside the points as well in the Kazama Iroha car in 17th, the last car to set the time. And also hard to have having issues in the pit lane after having some weird issues in the pit lane. Sets no time and is currently sitting at the back of the grid. So it's going to be pretty tricky to get this race start underway for some drivers. But for Z, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, genuinely, I'm hoping to see Michael Turner shoot up 2 places somehow and take home, the 200 points, because that would be pretty wholesome, seeing as this is Noel's home race, and they've already proven to be an adequate driver. So I'm genuinely hoping Turner wins.
So a bit of apologies here for the weird camera angle, but this is the best we could do here. Anyways, we got all of the 18 cars lined up here in Autopolis for the start of the Autopolis Superprix race in Split A. Apologies, we had to look at the back of these cars, but the race is now underway here. Daniel Bauer has a pretty decent launch there against Callum Gibbens there. They're mostly double file heading into turn 1. Let's see if there is any form of contact. And right on the screen, while exiting turn 1 there between Salmon Man and Kurwisha, because Kurwisha got up to 11th place. What an amazing start for the number 61 car, Takane Louis. And as you can see, some dust kicking up here. And meanwhile, Daniel Bauer currently leading this race. Callum Gibbons is in 2nd. Michael Turner tries to defend 3rd place from Ri Liu, who is looking to try his luck to get 3rd place. Fumi is currently stuck in 5th place. Olgor 6th. Shazren jumps up to 7th place ahead of Miyamoto. Riba down to 9th. Riba in 9th. And Wimberly runs out the top 10.
Alright, well, there's a lot of going on, and now Kaczynski is fighting Silent Man, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be another battle shooting up pretty soon. So a lot is going on within this opening.
Everyone has survived their hairpin. Very good stuff there. And you can see here running up 13th place is currently John Mee, currently gaining a few positions there. Kurwisha up to 14th. Sakaji Mikolev at 15th. Suri Kayumov and Griffin Wheatley having a very poor start. So, and Wawan Suharto once again crashes.
Okay, this is just really unlucky for Wawan. I'm sorry.
Not what the Elephants are looking for, not what Wawan Suharto is looking for, not what Shiranui Flair is hoping. after a very good run in Formula Hololive, after a second place finish last March, he has now crashed out from this race entirely. So a big shame for Juan Suarto. But meanwhile, let's take a look into the current field drivers at the moment. Lap 2 of 54 is currently underway with Daniel Bauer leading.
We're like we've only finished one lap, and somehow Wheatley is down 7 seconds, and it seems that gap is widening. So this is probably a very bipolar race, I'd imagine, where the people at the front are like blitzed ahead, and then the people at the back are just like really far behind.
And we just wanted to confirm back the championship permutations for each of these drivers. Now we're gonna need to take a look. Oh, a bit slow there, exiting the hairpin. That's pretty usual because you can see here the corner is off camber. The inside of a corner is much taller than the outside, so that's why these drivers have been pretty cautious when it comes to handling that corner. Anyways, as we mentioned here, by 10 laps, the tires are really starting to show some wear, and when they wear, the grip levels basically drop. So for basically the strategy wise, what do you think?
The strategy is going to probably be a 2-stop in order to not accidentally skid into a wall and crash. But a 1-stop would definitely be possible, although it would be a little weird for this track.
Anyways, we're gonna need to take a look back into the permutations that are at the moment. For Juan Suarto, he will not score points, but for Callum Gibbons and Rim Olgor, they will be able to solidify their places at the front of the field. Oh, there might be a battle here between Roboco and Isakaiji Mikolev as there were trading positions there. Mikolev was trying to go for 14th place, but Koja manages to defend with good positioning.
This is a win, I believe. So they're basically still fighting for the silver spoon, but I mean, I guess you're getting a little bit more points, which ultimately probably won't matter. But I mean, you're getting more points. It feels good.
Anyways, we're looking into the standings as well. John Mee currently in 13th place. It's not looking very well for him because he needs to score a good amount of points because his championship rivals, Hofu Mi and Rim Olgor, are currently stuck inside the top 5-6 positions of the standings. So for John Mee, it's basically a mission for him to get himself inside the top 10. But obviously, Autopolis is a pretty difficult track to overtake with all these fast sweeping corners, but an overtake can be done. It's just a bit iffy, if you want to call them.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do an overtake here without crashing into something. But it's possible. You can also probably do an overtake on the straight if you're fast enough, which maybe you are, but I doubt it.
Oh, here we go again there for Isakaiji Mikolev and Robert Karisha. Mikolev has been pretty hot into that corner and manages to get the pass done. Mikolev is now up to 14th place. And now we have the founder of Holux fighting against the current leader of Holux. Lapis Darkness versus Takane Louis. Suri Kayama versus Robert Karisha on who gets the final point.
It seems Wheatley kind of wants to join in on the fun too, around 0.472 last I checked, so it's very possible that this could become a whole three-way thing.
A three-way thing between the Samurai, the founder, and the current leader of Holux? Well, we're in for it, but meanwhile, we got the mad scientist and the janitor currently inside the top 10. Oh, sorry. Only the janitor is inside the top 10 because the mad brains one is currently in 11th.
I'm not doing very good.
Relative to the drivers inside the top 10. Anyways, continue.
Anyway, it seems, except for Lulu, it seems Holux is not doing very good this race. The bottom three are Holix and then Mad Scientist in 11th, but then Rilu is actually going to be good in third. I mean, sorry, fourth.
Meanwhile, is another battle here between Isakaiji Mikolev and Robert Kurisha. Robert Kurisha is actually defending against Suri Kayama, who actually went down the inside. And there's another side-by-side battle between the Miko and Hachama cars of Mead and Mikolev, as well as Robert Kurisha and Suri Kayama. Frantic action at the back. and as you can see here, Meat manages to defend from Mykolaiv, Kurisha manages to defend for Kaimov. So in Autopolis, as we've seen in the Autopolis Hololive GT3 round, coming into turn 1, you need to hang it around the outside to basically you need to hang it around the outside to have a good shot, because at the inside it basically cambers up, it digs your car up, and that basically messes up your exit. So there's a bit of an iffy side when it comes to approaching the inside line heading into turn 1. Anyways, looking into some of the other battles here right now, Shazren actually keeping tabs of Rim Olgor, his fellow Shuba Luna combo partner. So right now they're on a sparring session here at the moment, lap 5 of this race. But in terms of like the pit stops, do you expect it to be early on, or do you want to expect it to be late on?
I'm expecting it to be early on, personally, because I just think a 2-stop would be just the better option here because of the extreme tire wear that's gonna go through. So at least that you could have fresher tires for longer.
Oh, and right now we have John Mee being overtaken by Sakaiji Mykolaiv, and now he'll have another battle between Sergei Kayumov and Robert Kurisha. It's a 4-way battle for what should be P13. Kayumov hangs it around the inside, but puts too much of the curb, and that allows Robert Kurisha to basically hang on into the last point position. But right now, actually, you see Kayumov looking into every avenue possible to try to overtake Robert Kurisha. She knows that she has the faster car than the Takane Louis car. So right now, Kayumov is looking to find every opportunity in the book to pass.
Yeah, and it seems that's probably gonna happen soon because it has for like a while during this race. So we should be expecting another battle in the back soon, which is probably gonna only slow them down, and then it's gonna cause lap traffic maybe.
But right now, looking into the gaps here, everyone has been pretty good. And we also wanted to mention to you, it's 4.6 kilometers, nearly about 3 miles of racetrack here in Autopolis. So the odds of having lap cars are pretty slim. And here we have the first movers in the pits, Hofumi and Rimolgor.
Yeah, as I expected, there's going to be some people that are going to pit relatively early because the tire wear, as you said, it's going to really start hitting like a truck, or in this case a car, around lap 10. So Fumi, Olgor, and Kayumov especially, I believe, is going to benefit from this as they were in the back, and now they should be able to start munching on positions of people with weaker tires.
Good to hear this technical feedback from Z. Very good stuff. Anyways, looking into the battle of the top 3 there, the leading trio have now bunched up. The Yuzuru car currently bunching up Roboco and Shirogane Noel, and right now Noel is looking for an opportunity to pass the 2 cars in front. These 2 cars have definitely shown a lot of mettle in Split A on both Hololive GT3 and Formula Hololive. 2 wins separated between them in the top 2, with the Yozora car driver Daniel Bao winning Hololive GT3 and Callum Gibbons winning Formula Hololive. So Michael Turner is looking at the 2 defending race winners from Fuji 2023, and right now, as we speak, Callum Gibbons is the next driver to commit to his pit stop.
Another pit stop that's going on that's going to send Turner in the second and Lou during really doing Hollick's proud, the stinky janitor. But a lot of people moving up as expected because of a pit, and Reba and Summerlin have gone into the pits. They are also committing to what I would believe to be a 2-stop strategy.
And right now, Cal Gibbons is exiting the pit lane and has managed to cover Hofu Mi. The undercut strategy is doing very well there for Callum Gibbons to stay up in front. But meanwhile, let's look at Kaminari Reba there. Kaminari Reba trying to defend from Rim Olgor. He actually managed to beat Rim Olgor off of strategy. So Kaminari Reba have managed to make an overtake in the pits against Rim Olgor, and that's going to cause him a lot of headaches. As you may have noted there, Rim Olgor was actually inside 6 and 7, and Kaminari Reba was actually in 9. So Kaminari Reba actually has a very fast pit stop. Very good stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be fairly annoying to pass, as both of them have about the same amount of tires. So Olgor is relying on a slip-up, or maybe Reba taking a little bit of curve. in order to overtake that position. But for now, it's just going to basically be a stalemate forever. Except maybe not. It's a 0.2 gap, and it seems Olgor is trying to find any opportunity to overtake. So, I should mention Turner and Lee.
Yes.
Lee have entered the pits.
Anyways, here's two cars coming into the pit stop for their services, as well as Makoto Miyamoto and Zeke Wimberly. The pit lane is very active at such early stages of this race. Callum Gibbons is coming across the line, and let's see where Michael Turner comes out. And right now, he's still stationary, and Callum Gibbons is looking into a very good position to stay up into the lead. And actually, Michael Turner has pitted quite late, and now he's dropping down a few more positions. He's now been overtaken by Hofu Mi.
I just kind of realized something. With everybody kind of pitting at the same time from people from very far from the front and very far in the back, it's going to start creating a little melting pot of just like different people that are within the race, and they're just going to start slowing each other down. So this is going to be interesting to see as the battles in the back are going to really start persisting.
And right now, I'm looking into the standings at the moment here. Miyamoto, Wimberly, and Wheatley are still stuck inside the pits. So 3 cars having problems at once. The Grim Reaper may have just hit again, but looking into some of the other drivers that may have survived, that I think may cause some issues. But I think there's a problem with the cars, but right now it's not final. Oh, never mind. Miyamoto has now gone back out. It's just a very long service to the pits. I just don't know why they had to wait for that long into the pits, especially for their standards. But right now, they are now being lapped, well, close to being lapped by the current race leader, Mama Shazren Reza.
You know what? If they can't win, they might as well cause headaches for the people in the front, you know?
Oh, man. Chaos. What is this? Huckle's Belt or something? Anyways, and now we have Isekai Jimikola, Daniel Bauer, John Mead, and Robert Carisha coming into the pits.
More people pitting. It seems that everybody is trying to pit early in order to keep their tires up to date and focus on an offensive. So it's going to be a very aggressive game, I would believe.
And looking at the gaps between 15th place and 14th place, that was pretty whack. Meanwhile, Zeke Wimberly is currently battling against the current race leader, Mama Shazren Reza. Right now, there's a battle between the 2 cars, and right now Shazren Reza is able to clear Zeke Wimberly because Zeke's tires have not been warmed up to make it sticky. So right now Shazren Reza has now put the number 54 car down a lap.
And I'm believing that their next goal will be Miyamoto, which is around 3 seconds away, so that should cause another headache for Shazren Reza.
Well, quite a bit, because looking at Makoto right now, currently sitting in 15th place. Now, the drivers are currently pitting right now are having a good amount of time in the pit lane. So maybe, for the guys who are spending a good amount of time in the pit lane, they may be pitting until the end. So, for the guys who are pitting quite long, they may be going for that one-stop strategy. And for those who did pit but take less time to service their cars, that may be a 2-stop.
Well, it's just like extra time for more fuel and everything. So if your car was thought to be claimed by the Reaper, Kaczynski is pitting.
Anyways, continue.
Back to what I was saying. We were just like receiving more fuel and stuff. It should be fine.
Oh, anyways, just wanted to give you guys an update. Now, for all the drivers who have yet to submit their helmet designs, they're all given carbon fiber helmets. If you want to see the close-up, here is the look.
Very, very nice helmets, I'm aware of.
Anyways, Ryu currently sitting in 5th place here, and we haven't really properly circulated to the end of this race. And right now, Shazren Reza is looking to go very, very long into his stint, going for that overcut strategy, favoring to have as much grip as possible at the end of this race, rather than in the middle of it. And right now, he just wants to bide his time behind lap cars of Makoto Miyamoto. And right now, let's see if Miyamoto can try to give Shazren Reza a helping hand as a fellow Gen 4 teammate, but I don't think there, since there are no blue flag rules, that may cause some issues for Shazren. But if he can clear Miyamoto, I think he's gonna be pretty fine.
Yeah, it should be fine, but for now, it seems that they're still stuck behind Miyamoto, just wasting more and more time. And I'm noticing that Redzo's fuel is definitely starting to take a hit, so they're going to have to go into the pits sooner than later. But Turner is about to, once that happens, Turner should go back to net third place. It seems Turner's position is quite set in stone right now.
Set in stone, but remember, I think that they may not be good enough for fuel. As you can see here, they spent very less time inside the pits relative to some of the drivers who have pitted late in life, for example, Kaczynski and co. And so they may have some fuel issues that they may need to address, but we're gonna need to look into this progression of updates coming into the middle of this race, because right now we're just in lap 12.
Yeah, lap 12 there's already been quite a bit of pitting, so a fuel miscalculation might happen. We just don't know to who yet.
And right now, Callum Gibbons currently inside second place there, looking to score an average finish of 1.5 if this continues, and definitely putting himself into the championship lead. Now, he has seen himself being inside the championship lead for much of the season in the Split B regular season, but obviously it hadn't been forthcoming at the end after some pretty crazy moments. Now we have some of the guys in the chat have mentioned, oh, here's Hofumi.
Oh, Fumi's gone into the pits. Wait, haven't they already went into the pits already? You've seen them basically pit for short periods of time. So I think this is just probably one of their scheduled stops. And here's another one from Seri Kayamov. They already pitted.
Yeah, they already pitted. So I don't think this may be a miscalculation type of thing, because they didn't lose as much time in their first pit. Because if you notice, they pit for quite a short amount of time inside from when they were pitting in their first stop. So this is maybe their second stop, but let's see if their position can take a massive hit.
Well, I would assume not. Bauer is a solid 38 seconds away, so it seems that we have our own. We have quote-unquote split A and split B, with split B being around. Oh shoot, Bauer actually passed that. Oh wait.
Bauer hasn't pitted.
Oh, never mind.
Bauer hasn't pitted, but right now we're looking at guys who are doing. We have guys who are split between a 1-stop and a 2-stop. This is going to be a pretty interesting development here, as now the race leader finally coming into the pits. Callum Gibbons, Michael Turner, Ri Liu have yet to pit again, because I think their fuel isn't enough. So, anyways, this is a massive shakeup coming into the middle of this race. Anyways, back to what one of the guys in the chat have been said. The whole lap car kerfuffle thing reminds them of Sao Paulo and the whole GT3 round. Yes, if you remember that, the guys they all pitted quite early, and in the end there were no lap cars, and the lap cars were definitely impeding the guys in first place. And that also threw a spanner in the works in the strategy. And here's the battle between Hofumi and Ri Liu. Fumi, of course, have already pitted, and right now he's already being lapped by Ri Liu. And right now Fumi is currently a lap down, and Rana Shazren is spending a good amount of time in the pits. And with his first and only stop serve, Shazren Reza is currently in 6th place. Very good stuff there, strategics-wise.
I'm starting to ponder if Fumi is doing okay, because they're all the way down in 17th. They started in like 5th. They're down 13 positions. Are you sure that they can really just make up all of those positions?
Oh, and you can see here Fumi hopping onto the curve and nearly spinning out the car. So there's definitely something wrong with Fumi's car coming in, heading into this weekend. Not looking good for all the Autopolis watching. But meanwhile, we now have Callum Gibbons finally pitting. It looks like Michael Turner is going to follow suit.
It seems Turner is going to enjoy the luxury of having first place for a while before eventually having to pit. It's just we're wondering when they'll pit. And as we see, Turner has taken first, and it seems Reba and Salmonman are going back into the pits. Is this just like a strategy where they just like replace their tires every couple of turns?
Well, at least for the first portions of this race, yes. And it looks like with their fuel sorted, they should be able to be fine until the end of this race. Remember, after this, there will be like 40 laps to go here in Sportsline Sugo. So, in terms of like fuel, if they pit right now, they should be able to fill their tanks to the brim, and they should be okay.
So going for like a one-stop strategy, but also a two-stop strategy.
Yeah, some of them are going for that one stop and some of them are going for that two stop. And watch out for lap cars. Lap cars are going to play a massive part in this race.
The lap cars are going to be particularly silly. And there's probably going to be a lot of them because everybody's pitting. So even people that were all the way in like 5th that are now back in 17th getting laps. So it's gonna be, I don't know, I can't predict it.
Anyways, we wanted to take a look back into the tires to see on who has the fresher ones and who doesn't have the fresher ones. Wimberley's pretty good on strategy as well as Michael Turner and Ri Liu. But we definitely need to pay attention to this race as it progresses. So looking into the pit stops here, we have a few guys that made the two stop, like Callum Gibbens, Kaminari Riba, Crystal Salman. But looking at Fumi though, you did mention that he was having a pretty decent race inside the top 5, but now at that second stop, he had a very slow second stop, I think.
I don't think he can recover from that, like genuinely. Like that's like a solid 13 position, and I probably did my math wrong somehow, but that's like a solid 13 position. Okay, I did my math right now. Alright, 12 position gap, so that's pretty stacked against his favor.
Oh, which is not going to be looking good for Fumi, but he wants to pay attention and hope that some of the drivers in front pit in his stead. And right now, we also want to take a look into some of the guys who only pitted once. The last guy to make his first stop, Shazren Reza, who did start inside 8th place, but is now up to 3rd place.
Yeah, it seems that strategy that Shazren Reza is having is doing pretty good, but I don't think they'll be able to catch up to number 2 as they seem to be at a solid 47. Oh, wait, hold on. Head and head between Miyamoto and Riba at the moment. I'm not good at commentating combat, so I will switch it to Adak.
Anyways, currently heading into the quite twisty first sector, the Miyamoto currently trying to hold on to the position there, trying to defend against Riba. And now we finally get the confirmation that Michael Turner and Ri Liu are coming into their pit stops for their service. And now, right now, we have Shazren Reza coming into the final sector, coming into turn 17, 18, and 19. This will decide on who gets to be the race leader. And if Shazren Reza manages to get his strategy done absolutely correctly, he should be able to take this race lead. And right now, we have Michael Turner not exiting the pit stops just yet, and Shazren Reza coming into the main straight to take the basically net race lead.
This is going to be fairly interesting to see. As long as he doesn't muck up with a fuel calculation or anything, they should be fine or smooth sailing, assuming their tires don't fail them.
And Daniel Bauer.
Yeah, they seem to be getting out of the pit now. It seems Ribu is still stuck in the pits though, but I think they're coming out just now.
Anyways, we have a massively interesting strategy call going on for Shazren Reza, pitting later than usual for most drivers there. He only pits on like lap 15, lap 16, and that has been paying absolute dividends here. And again, another battle between Miyamoto and Riba coming into turns 2 and 3.
They're side by side right now, but I believe Riba has a slight advantage, but it seems that Miyamoto is determined to keep that placement, and it seems they're just trying to be a stalwart at the moment, trying to protect their position from Riba, but it seems that's safe and sound. And meanwhile, I believe that there is a battle brewing between Salomon and Carisha, so we're going to have to be watching out for that little development coming through.
Anyways, Croatia is doing a very good job there from outside the points, or rather on the fringes of the outside the points in around 15-16, currently up to 10th place. He's doing a very good job there climbing up the standings here. He gaining 5 positions from the start, but obviously he still has less than 40 laps to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a very rough ride for anyone, for just about every driver here. It's going to take a lot of sweat and tears and maybe motor oil, I'm not sure.
And speaking of sweat and tears, another driver who is kind of sweating and crying, maybe, is Fumi, because he's currently ruining the lost chance after that second pit stop. His second pit stop was about a minute long, if I'm not mistaken, and that costed him a lot of track position. And right now he's stuck behind Wheatley. And then another battle between Kaminari Riba and Makoto Miyamoto. Now, right now, Riba is looking to try to find a way past Miyamoto, but it looks like Miyamoto has the nose, but hops under the go way too much once again, and that allows Miyamoto to defend from Riba. Watame ahead of Polka for 8th place. And meanwhile, Fumi for Tokinozora finally tries his luck to clear the Kazama Iroha car.
Trying to fight for the silver spoon at the moment. They're kind of neck and neck right now, but it seems Wheatley really took that advantage of Fumi's really bad exit right there to to take advantage and just bulldoze through.
Anyways, both Daniel Bao and Mama Reza currently having clean air in front of them, looking into their tire age. Right now, the better one yet is currently Callum Gibbons and Michael Turner, who have about 2 and 4 laps fresher tires than Shazren Reza respectively. So if Shazren Reza gets stuck behind lap cars, Gibbons and Turner might be able to swoop in to steal an opportunity or two, because Daniel Bauer's tires is basically 4 laps older than Shazren's.
Well, I want to take Bauer completely out of the picture. I believe that Bauer does indeed have a fighting chance, even if their tires are a little bit older. And of course, tire age does matter and everything, but I believe Bauer is a very strong contender. Oh, speaking of strong contenders, Makoto Miyamoto and Riba at it yet again. The rivalry just does not stop as they're currently around neck and neck right now. But it seems Miyamoto has this edge against Riba once again. But Riba, I'm sure, will be launching another offensive quite soon.
And let's see how close Riba can get in this section of this racetrack here. As you can see here, we're about to get into 20 laps of racing here in Autopolis. We'll resume the action tomorrow with Split B tomorrow and Sunday at the same time as this stream starts. Anyways, looking into Riba, trying to get close to Miyamoto. The gap is now 0.3 of a second. He probably needs more than 0.3 of a second. He probably needs 0.2 or basically 1/10 of a second to try to mount a challenge against Miyamoto. The inside line didn't work for Riba in turn 1, so he might need to try to make a move around the outside, but I'm not sure if he's creative enough to do so.
It's just like a constant trial and error, and honestly, Riba doesn't really have much room for error, as it's only a 2-second gap between him and Carisha. So you got to make sure that while you're attacking, you make sure to watch your back.
Anyways, we do want to mention, some of the guys in the chat says that the Kazama Iroha car is very beautiful. Well, all of these cars, the Formula Hololive cars, are based on the bright uniforms, outfits that have made its debut in the Hololive 4th Festival. And in these outfits, they have a glow-in-the-dark features, and we also have replicated the same thing. As you can see here on the green, you see the green part of the car, the green lights over there, that also glows in the dark as well. So obviously these cars basically mirror the bright uniforms that have been used since the 4 festivals. So if you're a fan of the bright uniforms, this racing series is for you.
It seems that Solomon is trying to launch an attack on Carisha, as we just saw, but it seems Carisha is just an absolute stalwart, refuses to give up any position. But it seems Solomon might end up launching another attack again, except they don't have much room for error, as Wimberley is only around a second behind them, which really isn't too much. And then Fumi is still trying to overtake Wheatley, which will maybe happen, I'm not sure.
But it's not going to be very likely there if they're not creative enough. And right now, looking into the standings, Ryu is faster than Kaczynski, because Ryu is lapping at a 128. And looking into the timetable, Callum Gibbons is currently setting a 127.8, and Danny Ball setting a 128.7. So Callum Gibbons is actually catching the drivers in front.
Gibbons does, in fact, have has the best chance of securing first, but it's going to be a long road, as Bauer right now is around 13, almost 14 seconds behind. Oh, wait, hold on. Fumi and Wheatley are fighting. Stop what I said. but it seems Wheatley does have the slight edge, and it just seems like this is just a repeat of the last time.
Anyways, looking into some of the other battles here right now. Looking at the battles here right now, Miyamoto and Reba basically wasting time fighting each other. Also for Croatia and Salman. Look at another driver looking to get into the mix. It's Zeke Wimberly.
Just trying to eye out positions and everything, watching them fight, waiting for a great time to strike. But right now, it just seems like they just can't catch up at the moment. They're about a 1.1 second away. They're just waiting for them to just like slow down with their head and everything. It's just a drag.
Anyways, looking into the gaps right now, the gap between Bauer and Gibbons have closed down to 2 seconds right now. It was about 3 seconds a few laps before, and right now Cal Gibbons is really chipping into those lap times. But as you can see here, the defensive game here in Autopolis is very good, but the attacking game has been pretty lackluster. As you can see here, tire wear is starting to really take effect. Look at the center of those tires. You can see that there's a line forming in the center. That is what we call, I believe, graining. Okay, maybe not graining, but more like blistering. But that just shows to you that the tires are pretty worn at this point, so they will not have as much grip as they would have wanted before, when they started bolting onto these new tires.
Looking at the gaps right now, it seems Wheatley is getting a decent gap against Fumi, which is quite nice. But it seems Solomon is trying to get into the mix and try to battle Croatia again. And of course, Riba is attempting to fight Miyamoto, as I'm looking at the 3.5 second gap around.
So looking into the tire management at the moment, some of these guys are wanting to attack as much as possible. That's why you see a good amount of blistering on some of these tires here right now. But looking into the tire state, everyone's tires are seeming to kind of fall apart at the seams. But for now, looking into the pace differences, for what was a battle between 2 cars is looking to be a battle between 5 cars. Let's take a look back into the speed differences between Miyamoto, Riba, Croatia, and Salman. Miyamoto currently sets a lap time of what should be a 1:29.504. Croatia sets a 4:06, and Zeke Wimberly sets a 1:29.534. And right now, Riba and Miyamoto once again. This is the 5th time.
This is the same song and dance. I'm sure that Miyamoto will reclaim the place once again, except it seems Riba does have a slight advantage. No. Oh, maybe.
Maybe if he gets down the inside!
They're still so close. They're close, but it seems Riba does have the upper hand, turning into that corner right there. Seems
getting close there. Finally! The move has been completed. 5 laps down, 5 laps done, and it's now Riba and Miyamoto. Here comes another side-by-side battle between John Mead and Rim Olgo for 13th place.
Fighting for the silver spoon right here. It seems that, wait, I need the angle chance. It seems Mead is just kind of getting dominated right now by Olgo. It's kind of a shame. It really needs to score those points in order to keep their position.
Anyways,
okay,
anyways, we are now seeing more racing action here in the middle of this race. As you can see here, very good stuff there for Kaminai Riba to try to find an opening against Miyamoto, and now Kaminai Riba is looking to open up a gap to Miyamoto now, because the gap is now opened up to 0.8 of a second.
Yeah, it seems Riba, as after he passed, finally passed Miyamoto, everything just kind of became smooth sailing. It's only around 10 seconds between them and Mikolev, and it seems that gap might close, but I severely doubt it.
27 lap 27 is the middle point of this race, and Hofumi is currently still stuck behind Gruffin Wheatley. Hofumi needs to pass the basically the slow Iroha car, at least in his books, to try to mount a challenge against some of the other drivers here, like Shazren Reza is currently leading this race, and right now Fumi looking to hits the curves way hard, and I don't think he might be able to try to swing it. I don't think there's an opening. Fumi's still stuck behind Wheatley.
It seems Fumi is just having a lot of trouble handling his ride at the moment. The second pit stop absolutely killed his progression, and now we just can't get past Wheatley, which is a real shame.
And right now, Bauer, looking at the lap time differences between the two cars, 128.348 for Bauer, 128.212 for Callum Gibbons. Gibbons is currently a tenth faster than Bauer last lap. And look at the speed trap. You can see here, it's about 185, around 180 to 185 miles per hour for all the Imperial speakers. 304 kilometers an hour maximum. When Gibbons passed through it, it was 297. So it really just shows you how much speed these cars have. And looking into some of the other battles here at the moment, Miyamoto is currently trying to defend against Croatia, who is currently 3/10 faster.
It seems Miyamoto is starting to lose a little bit of pace, but they are an experienced defender after the multiple battles with Ribbo, so they should at least have a somewhat decent fighting chance. Speaking of fighting chances, it seems Fumi might be able to break through, except not really. No, we got ahead.
But you just need to give you all a reminder, Autopolis turn 1, at least for this one, has like a bank inside, and the outside is not that bank. So if you hit the inside line incorrectly at Autopolis, which many of them would do because of the nature of that inside line of the corner, that is gonna basically mess the inside route coming into the corner, and that is why you see a lot of drivers struggling to hang on to the inside line in turn 1 when making a move. But there are opportunities as well if they can tuck behind the other car while heading into the other few corners of the circuit, they might be able to find a fighting chance. And speaking of fighting chances, look at Callum Gibbons there. The gap is now dropping down to just over a second, when previously it was like 1.6.
Yeah, it seems Bauer is starting to lose their race pace at the moment, and speaking of losing race pace, Miyamoto, the gap between them and Croatia is only around 0.5 seconds, so it's not looking good for those two at the moment.
And looking at Callum Gibbons currently 3rd place, and now the laps dropped down to just over a second. I'm just gonna cut this short because I just want to see the helmet, because this helmet is pretty basic, but it's also pretty cool in my opinion.
In his opinion.
Yeah, true. Anyways, back into the battle here for 9th place. Miyamoto's losing a lot of race pace at the moment. Yeah, it's like the carousel at the Nürburgring. So the inside is banked while the outside isn't really that banked. So that's why you see some of the drivers struggling to make a move on the inside, because some of them hit quite incorrectly and they lose a lot of momentum and they kind of lose control. Anyways, Croatia now up into the back of Miyamoto, Wimberley and Salomon also coming into the mix as well. The battle for 9th place now extends to 4 cars.
Yeah, it seems there's a lot going on at the moment. It's like a whole other split right now between these 4 cars, because the Allgor is currently around 4 seconds behind, and then of course Miyamoto's around 5 seconds behind Ribbo. So after Ribbo, and I've just noticed that Ribbo managed to close the gap from around 10 seconds to around 8.5 with a 128.267 lap time. So overall, Ribbo is doing pretty decent for themselves.
Yes, 6 seconds, about 6/10 faster than Isakaji Mikola. So with Ribbo's pace at the moment, he might be able to catch up to the Ukrainian by the next few laps. And right now, Ribbo is looking very good to bring home a good result for Omar Poca and for the Zain. And for looking into the gaps here, Fumi is looking to find a way past Wheatley once again coming into turn 2. But is Fumi close enough? I think so. He might have a pretty good run, but if he's close enough, he might be able to mount a charge. But I don't think he's close enough. He's still stuck in 17th.
I wonder what the result of this battle will be.
I wonder. Anyways, let's take a look back into the gaps. Now, usually for you to get live, you need to be like 1 minute and 27 seconds, 1 minute 28 seconds behind the race leader. And currently, with Fumi being stuck behind Gruffin Wheatley in this funny battle, if you want to call him that, that means Shazren is gonna catch Fumi pretty soon.
I'm starting to notice Wimberley managed to bring a gap from like around a second to around 0.43, which is actually meaning that they're starting to catch up. Speaking of catching up, also Summerman is at about a 0.3 3.87. So it seems that the battle for 9th place is still currently raging. There's a lot going on in the center.
Apologies if you see this weird mouse in the center because that was a bit of a blooper. We forgot to turn off capture cursor. So anyways, looking into Callum Gibbons, the pace have basically neutralized between the two. And here's Fumi trying once again, but to no avail. And right now, again, you can see here how much speed that Fumi has lost coming into turn 1. But let's see, Fumi is now actually side by side heading into turn 2. This may be the time for Fumi to steal a chance, but I think he's too far back. Okay, not good enough for Fumi. He's still stuck behind the Iroha car in 16th place, still outside the points. Now looking into some of the other battles here right now. Croatia actually catching up to Miyamoto and Salvaman and Wimberley. And now looking at this, Rim Olgor is not looking to get inside this battle for 9th place.
I love how Olgor managed to come out of nowhere. I didn't even know Olgor existed until you just pointed it out. And they're currently at around a 2-second gap. And that was coming from a 4-second gap. So it seems that they're catching up relatively quickly.
And Cal Gibbons losing touch to Daniel Bauer. The high wear has finally kicked in for Callum Gibbons. He is no longer catching up to Daniel Bauer here right now. As you can see here, he's actually about 15 tenths slower than Daniel Bauer that last lap. But Michael Turner might be able to give him a challenge.
I think Turner is possibly the reason why Gibbons might have slowed down a little, because they didn't want to make any mistakes, maybe that, or because Turner seems to be catching up. It went from a 2-second to another 1 second. Oh,
finally, Gruffin Wheatley actually manages to clear Gruffin Wheatley there because he has actually carried enough speed on that corner to mount a defense. But right now, Wheatley gonna try to fight around the inside and around the outside once again. Look at Gruffin Wheatley defending like a madman. And now Fumi finds an opening down the inside line, coming into the hairpin, exiting the hairpin. Fumi and Gruffin Wheatley still side by side, hopping onto the curb aggressively. Fumi coming into the long left-hander and into the right-hander. They're still side by side. Who's gonna come out on top?
Oh my god, Fumi might have actually done it. Also, while that was happening, Kaimov and Mead had a fight. And yeah, I think Mead dropped down a place. So that's kind of sad. But it seems Fumi finally cleared Wheatley. Only like 11 cars left to go, Fumi. We believe in you.
Anyways, looking into some of the other battles here at the moment, Michael Turner is finally caught up to Callum Gibbons there. Michael Turner is looking to find a way to bring home a podium position for Shirogane Noel and Hirkishidan. And right now, Callum Gibbons is the defending race winner. He wants to try to limit the damage in the championship as much as possible.
Yeah, it's Shazren Redza is actually doing really good. It seems Shazren Redza has that net lead because he's a solid 16 seconds ahead of Bauer, which is pretty nice. So it's basically smooth sailing for Shazren Redza. And speaking of smooth sailing, it seems Turner is doing quite well as well. At around 0.6 seconds, which is pretty nice.
Anyways, Michael Turner catching up to Callum Gibbons there for 3rd place. Here's on board a number 08 Shirogane Noel car. And coming into turn 19, let's see if the gap can close. Because right now, Gibbons is not catching up to Bauer. Looking at the gap, it's 1.4 seconds here. Gibbons has lost about 0.2 of a second there. And now Michael Turner is on par with Dan Bauer in terms of race pace. Reed Liu is actually faster. That Shazren Reza is on the last lap. 1:27.6 for the Malaysian in the Sakamoto Chloe car.
Yeah, this is, I still think Shazren Redza is probably gonna win because just like that sheer gap that they have. But for all I know, I could be proven wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong.
Anyways, here's a 5-car battle now for 9th place with currently Crystal Salaman inside the middle of it, and now looking to find an opportunity to pass Robert Croatia, and that's probably going to open the door for Zeke Wimberley and Rim Olgor to attack. Both cars, both sets of cars are side by side, and right now Salaman actually almost being able to defend against being able to attack against Robert Croatia, Salaman against Croatia. Croatia has been in 10th place, and now Salaman dives down the inside, as well as actually no, Zeke Wimberly manages to defend against Rim Olgor. Look at Croatia's on board against Crystal Salaman. Stakati Louis versus Aski coming into the right-hander, and you can see here the gap, the grip just isn't there for Croatia, and that's going to open the door for Zeke Wimberly and Rim Olgor to fight back.
Except that's probably not going to happen as they're too far back and their tires aren't good enough. So, but overall, I'm looking at the gap. It's like a 0.5, and then Olgor to 0.4. You know, there's probably going to be another fight in approximately 2 laps. So.
Looking at Michael Turner finding an opportunity against Cal Gibbons. The gap is now dropped down to less than a second. Michael Turner and Daniel Bauer matching each other on race pace, and currently, and Cal Gibbons losing touch on Daniel Bauer, looking to be under pressure from Michael Turner. Reed Liu is also looking to be very nice on the pace right now. Gaps are now just about 2 seconds, so Reed Liu has something to play for.
Reed Liu can play for the podium, I believe.
Oh, here's Salaman and Miyamoto once again. Miyamoto, after being under pressure for Salaman, because Salaman has a very fast car and is looking to pass Miyamoto for 9th place. Here's Zeke Wimberly under pressure from Rim Olgor, but I think Wimberly might just be able to defend if circumstances permit. And right now, Rim Olgor is now a bit behind. So here's another side-by-side battle between Miyamoto and Salaman.
Yeah, it seems Salman has definitely started to pick up the pace a little. It seems Miyamoto has seemed to lost it ever since taking Rita, you know. So it seems Miyamoto. Oh wait, hold on. Fumi's trying to take lead. Fumi's trying to take lead. They're currently side by side. Fumi has that slight edge, and it seems me just can't catch up. But there is a possibility. This is like the last corner if they can't really make a move. It seems Fumi has just that edge. It seems that they've absolutely cleared lead. Yeah.
Hachamakar
scores 1 point.
Finally,
Yeah.
Hofumi makes a move, and he's now back inside the points to limit the damage done by that second pit stop. And right now, Kaminari Riba currently in 8th place, looking to try to catch up to Isakaji Mikola, and Isakaji Mikola actually catching up to Raijin Kaczynski. A lot of battle packs forming as per Callum Gibbons, and currently he is inside a battle pack himself, as he's currently looking to be under pressure from Michael Turner.
Yeah, it seems Turner is like trying really hounding down Gibbons, just waiting for that perfect mistake from Gibbons, you know, to just take over, you know, put himself in charge, and then he'd probably start hunting Bauer too. So overall, Turner is definitely a threat to watch out for.
And looking into the gaps here right now, Miyamoto is losing pace, a lot of race pace, currently falling down the pack, falling down the order, and currently falling prey to multiple other cars. Ruffin Wheatley still 1 minute and 10 seconds behind the race leader, and for him to be lapped, he needs to be further 20 seconds back, because Shazren Reza is currently into turn 2 and turn 3.
Lap traffic played a big part in the opening, but it seems to have died down since lap traffic wasn't as frequent as we thought it would be.
Anyways, but there is battle between the lead lap cars, which is also just as interesting because Michael Turner has now been like 5/10 of a second behind Callum Gibbons, half a second behind. So Michael Turner might be able to set up a chance in the next lap.
Potentially depends on lap time, mistakes, etc., etc. It's just a lot of. Looking at gaps right now, it seems that I can't really tell because I can't do math.
Anyways,
Olgor is probably the most likely to launch another offensive, which will probably be blocked, but it probably won't.
But it is.
At the same time, you know? Yeah, it is, but it's not.
Yeah, because right now Robert Croatia is looking to find a way past Miyamoto. Miyamoto has definitely struggled at the exit of turn 1. Couldn't get the acceleration that she has been looking for throughout this race. But because look at the rear tires, because if you notice, Miyamoto's rear tires are absolutely toasted. You can see here the rear tires, there is a definite line in the middle of it, which just shows to you that the tires are absolutely worn on Miyamoto's end.
I think it would be like really silly if someone like pitted right now and just started obliterating people's tires, that would be silly. So I don't think that would happen.
Anyways, Ryu catching up to Michael Turner. Michael Turner's losing touch to Callum Gibbons once again. Another portion of race, another chapter in terms of race pace has been unveiled. Looking into the gaps, I'm gonna need to see how this goes for basically their, all that stuff. Because right now, there could be a battle between 6th place, so watch out for 6th place, because right now it's between Raiju Kazuski and Sakaji Mikolev. And for now, Encounter Riba is actually not far behind.
Yeah, Riba has been a strong contender overall ever since they passed Miyamoto. Oh wait, hold on, there's a battle going on between Wimberley and Igor, so yay. Seems Wimberley managed to defend pretty well. They have stopped yet another attack from Algor. I think that's like the second or third one.
Algor being as aggressive as he would like, but it's not going to be enough. Wheatley and Mead side by side. And right now, Wheatley against John Mead. John Mead finds an opening. John Mead gets up to 16th place, but it's still outside the points. So, oh, but look at this. Different Wheatley is actually going to try to fight back.
Wheatley and Mead currently fighting for the silver spoon. It's pretty, I was gonna say silly, but I feel like I've said that word too much. But yeah, Wheatley managed to clear his lead.
Anyways, Hofumi currently catching up against everyone in front of him right now. 1 second per lap faster than the top 13. Good eye from the viewers there, because Fumi is currently on fire right now, finding a way past Kayumov, Rim Olgor. If Fumi can get himself inside the top 10 after that pit stop blunder, it will be a good cushion for, it will be a good way to limit the damage in this race and the championship.
Yeah, and they're just trying to farm as many points as possible from this lost position, trying to buff themselves up with points that will probably not matter, but I mean, they look cool, so I don't blame them for wanting.
Anyways, Ryu finally catching up to Michael Turner, who have lost the pace against Callum Gibbons. Remember, Ryu have had fresher tires than some of the other drivers here, because he pitted quite later, and he did do some pretty decent tire conservation, keeping the tires in a good condition until he needs it at the end of this race. And right now, Ryu is looking to steal 4th place from Michael Turner.
Ryu is definitely starting to become a threat to Turner. Turner seems to have lost their pace, so Turner's no longer a threat. Instead, Ryu is the new Predator.
And speaking, Predator as in Orca. Anyways, looking back into the gaps, the issue of lap traffic may actually come, because John Mead is currently 1 minute and 17 seconds behind Shazren. And right now, the lap times are around 1:28, so Mead is currently 11 seconds away from being lapped.
Oh boy, that's gonna be funny.
Especially for the race leader.
Yeah, basically, it's actually a very fair chance that lap traffic will happen. So we're on like lap 36 or something, so anyways, it's not gonna be fun.
It's not gonna be long until lap traffic plays a part. Yes, indeed. If Shazren can clear John Mead as soon as possible, that's gonna be pretty okay. But John Mead is actually at a pretty decent pace against Shazren. Here's another battle between Miyamoto and Kurwisha. Kurwisha finally manages to steal a position from Miyamoto, and look at the traffic that Miyamoto is causing. He's literally causing a train.
Yeah, and now I think Kayuma wants a piece. No, wait, Fumi also wants a piece.
Yes, Fumi also wants a piece. And he actually missed an overtake up to 14th.
Yay. It seems that Fumi is finally starting to salvage what's left of his start of a race. But
anyways, Anyways, Mikolev have finally caught up to Kaczynski. Miyamoto is now losing more positions and now Zeke Wimberley, who's now gone out to 11th place. Miyamoto's pace is falling down like a rock, and now Wimberley's trying to hang around the outside to seal the move, and Zeke Wimberley finally gets the move done. Wimberley's now up to 11th, but Miyamoto's still alongside. Wimberley finally clears Miyamoto, and now Rim Olgor needs to clear this moving chicane.
Yeah, it seems Miyamoto is kind of more of like a moving obstacle than like an actual driver, because they're just like losing pace left and right. And again, I've said this before. Ever since they lost the Riva, I feel like they just gave up. You know.
Yeah, because I think for Miyamoto shouldn't be battling Riba that aggressively, because look at the tires for Miyamoto and look at the pace difference. Oh, you can see here some blocking done by Miyamoto, and now Fumi finally is able to clear Miyamoto down, and that race gone worse for Miyamoto as she couldn't get this thing sorted out for all the Watamates to see, and this is even after Watamate's birthday stream earlier this June, and now Kahimov is looking to steal a position away. Also, what do you reckon that Miyamoto is gonna drop out of the points?
I don't know if Wheatley is actually catching on fast.
Yeah.
I think there's a fairly decent chance that Miyamoto can drop out of the points.
Yeah, a fairly good chance. I think it's a certainty, because looking at the pace difference, especially for when Miyamoto was unnecessarily defending against faster cars, like she thought that she could have a chance, but she tried to roll the dice and it didn't work out for her. But right now, speaking of the battle for position, let's take a look at battle between who gets to stay on the lead lap and who gets to go a lap down. Because look at Mead and Shazren Reza's gap right now is absolutely closing in.
Ooh, that's not gonna be very fun.
And speaking of which, Daniel Bauer is also losing pace.
Yeah, Bauer has been losing pace ever since like lap 15 or something. He's had this going for a long time. I'm just surprised it took this long.
Looking at Daniel Bauer currently struggling for pace at this latter stages of this race. Coming into this lap, there will be 15 laps to go. And right now, Shazren Reza is currently in command of this race. And to be in full command of this race, he needs to clear that lap car, and soon. And looking into Daniel Bauer right now, he's now under pressure from Count Gibbens.
Yeah, Gibbens is starting to really put his car into overdrive at the moment. But it seems Bauer does have a slightly better race lap time than Gibbens. And Rilu has a better lap time than like everybody.
Anyways, Rilu, continue.
And it seems Rilu is definitely starting to hound Turner a little bit. He's hungry for position, to say the least, and he's probably going to eat 4th place and 3rd place, which is going to be pretty funny to see.
Pretty funny indeed, and currently Zeke Wimberley holds on to 11th place. The gap has really starting to open up between some of the drivers here. Right now, Salman Man 17 seconds behind Kaminai Reba. Kaminai Reba now in this battle pack between himself, Mikolev, and Kaczynski, holding on for dear life in 6th.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Kaczynski at the moment, because man, my mind is completely fried. Because Mikolev is currently on the tail of Kaczynski, and it should be making a move pretty soon.
Yeah, someone in the chat had mentioned that Olgor is looking pretty vulnerable against Fumi, who has had the faster car than anyone else so far. They did mention that Fumi is actually 3 seconds a lot faster. As you can see, Fumi tried to go for a wide exit, but it's not working for Fumi. Sorry, not working for Olgor. And looking at Fumi, Fumi has had the faster car overall. And right now, looking at the gap between Griffin Wheatley and Makoto Miyamoto is now dropped down to 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, it seems that it's a certainty, as it was like 5 seconds literally like maybe 2 laps ago at like most. So it seems Miyamoto is like completely screwed. I'm just wondering if they have like Miyamoto or Mead will fight for last.
And looking at the shot and on board for the number 31 Hirimori Luna car, on board by Muhammad Shazren Reza. You can see here the car in front is John Mead, down in 17th place. And right now, Shazren Reza isn't able to clear John Mead. Daniel Bauer, Count Gibbons, and Michael Turner might be able to get inside this battle.
Speaking of battles, let's look at 11 through 14. Looking at the gaps, Wimberley is really close. Oh wait, hold on, sorry, I misread that. Olgar is really close. And it seems they're going to be making a move like any second right now.
And there's
they're
the
like
move.
Neck and neck at the moment. Yeah, this is the move I was talking about. But it seems Wimberly is a nose ahead, if that, but it's close, but I think Allgore does have that advantage. Wait, no, he doesn't.
Because
no,
Zeke Wimberly is currently in there.
the
Zeke Wimberly's ahead, and right now Allgore is currently trying to find every nook and cranny that he can find to try to overtake Wimberly right now. And currently Fumi is looking to find a way past all of the cars in front to try to salvage a top 10 finish. Callum Gibbons is actually side by side with Daniel Bauer there. You can see here this is a battle for second place, but Callum Gibbons isn't close enough. Now it's a battle. It's not just a battle for second between two cars. It's not a battle for second between four cars. Look at Michael Turner and Reliu.
Yeah, they're kind of catching up really quickly, so it seems that second place isn't a very nice place to be, but what is a nice place to be is first, because they just have to deal with lap traffic. It shouldn't be too bad.
It shouldn't be too bad. Shazren is going to try to clear John Mead, and it looks like he might be able to clear Mead as soon as possible, and yes, he does. Minimal effort there for Shazren Rizza to clear John Mead, so there's not going to be any problems with lap traffic for Shazren at the moment, because the pace difference between the two is just far too great.
Looking at lap times at the moment, I think... Oh, wait, hold on. Allgore and Wimberly, I believe, are side by side right now. 0 point... Yeah, they're completely side by side. It seems there's a battle going on right now, but I think Wimberly does have a slight...
advantage?
Yeah, Wimberly defended.
But look at this! Allgore going down the inside!
It's not ended. Oh, this might be an actual overtake.
Might be an...
Allgore... It's still neck and neck at the moment. It's still neck and neck. They're shuffling positions. But Allgore does have that slight advantage, but if they can use it correctly, it's up to them, which I think they did. I think that's an actual overtake.
And looking into the onboards of Rim Allgore right now, he has managed to successfully mount an offensive against Zeke Wimberly down in 12th place. Rim Allgore in the Subaru car now up to 11. Ho Fumi currently looking for an opportunity against Zeke Wimberly. And right now at this stage of the race, Fumi might be able to steal 12, but for 11th and 10th place, that might be a stretch. And right now, Miyamoto is now under pressure from Gruffin Wheatley, who's looking to score a point.
Exactly 1 point for the center. Whoa.
Anyways, Callum Gibbons against Daniel Bauer for second place there. Looks like the battle for first place is nearly settled there. Shazren Rizza currently leading this race, but with a comfortable margin of 19 seconds ahead of Daniel Bauer. Callum Gibbons will find a way past Bauer, and now Wheatley finally gets the pass down on Miyamoto. Bad race gone to worse, and that worst race have gone to the near worst for Miyamoto. And looking at Miyamoto, here's Shazren Rizza currently into turn 2. Miyamoto is in turn 3. Miyamoto is about to be lapped by Shazren Rizza anytime soon. Talk about the contrasting fortunes of Gen 4 cars.
Yeah, anyway, looking at gaps between things, per usual, the middle is hectic. Fuji's gonna overtake Wimberly at any lap now. Kayumov is also pretty close to Fuji, so if they can pass them, that would be pretty awesome in my opinion.
Right now,
is really close.
Yeah, really close to Michael Turner. Yeah, true. Anyways, it's been a very interesting race that we have had so far. A lot of interesting strategies, a lot of interesting kerfuffles between multiple other drivers. Looking at Rim Allgore trying to now find a way past for Robert Croatia. Zeke Wimberly is losing touch to Ho Fumi. He might not be able to defend 12th place with a fast charging Fumi. Let's see if Fumi can have a very good exit off of turns 18 and 19.
It keeps on going from like 0.2 to 0.4. So
right now Fumi's getting close.
Like, oh, they're gonna do an overtake on the straight. They're gonna try to do an overtake on the straight, but they have a slight advantage when they turn into the corner and they're neck and neck. And I think Fumi is gonna win because they've been winning all the other battles, so that would be pretty cool.
And right now Zeke Wimberly is kind of being shuffled off, but I think Wimberly might just be able to defend by a hair. So Wimberly still defends 12th place. Allgore was looking for an opportunity to pass Croatia, but it wasn't forthcoming as he was stuck into the inside line. Anyways, looking into the battle for what looks to be 5th place. Here's Reliu against Michael Turner.
Rigu is just kind of like, they're being very cautious, which is both a good and a bad thing. Because they're not scoring the positions they need, but they're not necessarily wearing out their tires.
Anyways, Rajikazinski and Isekaiji Mikalev losing a lot of pace against Kaminei Riba, who is also flying in this race, wanting to really fly the Gen 5 colors very well. The Kaminei Riba, let's see if he can get a good exit. Oh, he locks up there, goes slightly wide heading into turn 1, and that's gonna make him lose a few positions there. Maybe it's because of the waning tires.
Anyway, remember when Riba's gap to Mikalev was like 10 seconds? I do.
Yeah, it was 10 seconds, but Riba have been absolutely flying in this race, as well as Hofumi. But the difference between the two is that they need to get these moves settled, and now Fumi's looking to find an opportunity against Wimberley, as well as Olgar against Kurwisha. Two battles at once, and they're now side by side, neck and neck for position heading into turn 2. Fumi, you can see the 54 car really on the side, and looks like Fumi might be able to clear, but they're still side by side, and Wimberley actually manages to defend. But for Olgar and Kurwisha, same song and dance. As you can see here, Kurwisha defends 10 from Olgar, Wimberley defends 12 from Fumi. Good defensive moves there from each of the two Holux cars.
It seems Wimberley is like the only person that hasn't fallen to the Barbaric Crusade that is Fumi's advance through the ranks, you know. So that's pretty neat. It seems that if they keep that up, 12th place might be safe and sound, and they're screwing with one of the people at the top, which is very, very cool.
And yeah. Bauer, good defense from him to deny Callum Gibbons' advances into second place. And now Ri Liu looking to find a way past Michael Turner. And speaking of Daniel Bauer, he's doing his best to limit Gibbons' scoring ability inside the championship. And as this means that coming into the end of this race, Gibbons will end up with 350 points. While he does manage to hang on to the championship lead, Daniel Bauer is now going to be inside the top 10 at this rate. Now coming into the final laps of this race, looking into the gaps here right now, the top battle for second is not final. Battle for fourth is not final. The battle for sixth is ongoing. And looking into Olgar and Kurwisha, a lot of battles here at the moment. But right now, everyone just looking to take things easy, as they're going to wait for the last possible opportunity to pass.
That's pretty lame, in my opinion. They should be, they don't have much time, like to say the least.
Well, they don't have much time, but they want to save their best for last, I reckon. And looking into some of the attacking moves here at the moment, Callum Gibbons side by side with Daniel Bauer there, but I don't think he's close enough. I think he is close enough. He is able to kind of push Bauer in the compromising position, but that compromising position is not going to be enough for Callum Gibbons to make a move on. Daniel Bauer's defensive game is still good. Ri Liu trying to attack Michael Turner, but it's also not forthcoming just yet.
Is it me or is like Fumi slightly losing pace against Kaimon?
Slightly.
That thing's like a 0. Yeah, slightly, because it's like a 0.4 right now. So that it's not too bad of a show from Kaimon right now, who's trying to hound Fumi, which is actually quite a brave thing to do, if you ask me.
Fumi once again, take 2 against Zeke Wimberley, outside. Inside, Wimberley defends the outside because he knows that he can defend very well from here. But the neck-and-neck battle, I think, has to go to Fumi. I think he might just be able to finally clear Zeke Wimberley opposition. But Wimberley is doing his best to fight back, to hang it around the outside. Wimberley into turn 3 and 4. Wimberley hanging on to the inside and manages to defend. But Fumi finds an opening, forces Wimberley off wide, and now the battle is gonna continue towards the hairpin. Wimberley has the inside line, but it's gonna be the outside line pretty soon. Fumi finally makes the pass, and now we have another side-by-side battle between Callum Gibbons and Daniel Bauer.
There's a lot going on, but it seems Bauer is actually putting up a good defense.
Oh! So that's a dive bomb and a half there for Callum Gibbons!
That was incredibly reckless. I like that.
Reckless, anyway, and it works!
That actually might end up working in Gibbons' favor. That might be a secure second place right there.
An amazing inside move at Autopolis for Callum Gibbens, which I think that's the move of the race. With that much at stake, that just shows you how much these drivers are going to. I told you when I say that they're going to save the best for last, they're going to save the best for last.
Brilliant move.
Anyways, looking to another battle here. Rim Olgor against Robert Croatia. Croatia, I think, gets shuffled off, and that's going to open the door for Hofumi to try to advance inside the top 10. Fumi's currently in 12. Let's see if he can get inside the top 10. So here's Hofumi's on board.
Oh yeah, speaking of battles, Kayumov and Wimberley are side by side. Or at least, oh wait, never mind. Wimberley put up the defense.
Meanwhile, right now, they're currently putting themselves in a compromising position. Olgor's now inside the top 10. Both Olgor and Fumi were inside the battle inside the top 5 before the second bit stops, and now they're looking at the battle inside the top 10. Let's see if Fumi can still steal 11th place.
Fumi probably could. But Carisha has been a very, very good defender. So, I wouldn't put your money on it, but it's a fair argument.
Meanwhile, Kaminari Riba against Isekaiji Mikolev, the Shrine Maiden versus the Circus Clown. Right now, battling for 8th place. Kaminari Riba is not close enough, but let's see if Kaminari Riba can mount a slancha. He tries a different line, actually, Kaminari Riba. Let's see if he can get a very good line inside to try to make a move down the inside, but it's not close enough for Kaminari Riba. Tries to do what Callum Gibbons have done, but not to great effect.
They're trying. They're mixing up strategies and everything. I respect that, but it's just not enough for Riba. But Fumi is currently going side by side, with Carisha, by the way. Since Carisha does have a slight edge, but Fumi is trying to speed ahead, has the inside eye.
And right now, Zeke Wimberley trying to.
Wimberley is not gonna make it to Fumi, methinks, but it seems that Fumi and Carisha are still going on neck and neck, which will probably give Wimberley a chance, maybe, I don't know. But it seems Fumi actually did manage to pass Carisha with mostly some ease, and now Fumi's next target is Olgor.
Anyways, Fumi is next target, maybe Rim Olgor, but I don't know if he has the laps left, and the pace difference may be quite crazy. And right now, Miyamoto has been, I think, cleared by Gibbons and Bauer, and right now Gibbons is currently stuck. Callum Gibbons have not cleared. Here's another battle again between Riba and Mikolev.
Riba does have a slight advantage, but Mikolev is managed to speed ahead. This is kind of like the same song and dance Fumi and Carisha did, but we're gonna ignore that. Riba does manage to take a little bit of space from Mikolev, which causes them to kind of slack behind. Riba is now in 7th, which I'd be pretty proud.
Proud? That's actually expected, because the Omaru Polka Nissan in the regular season in Split A has seen a lot of finishes in 7. Miguel Castro was actually proud that he got 7. He didn't care if he wanted to get a win that time. If he gets 7th, that's 7th. And right now, Miguel Castro is going to be smiling on his face looking at that Omaru Polka car in 7th place.
You know what? I'm proud that I made it to 13th place, because I always seem to finish within the points. It's just I'm never anywhere past the top 10.
Consistency is key, and there may be an opening nearby. We just don't know. But right now, Daniel Bauer's podium position may be at risk there. Battle for 3rd place coming down to the wire there. Right now, Michael Turner is looking to find a move wide, but it's not forthcoming. Let's see if Michael Turner can get into the gap, by closing down the gap as soon as possible.
Speaking of closing down the gap, let's talk about Kayanov and Wimberley. It seems that it consistently goes from like 0.2 to 0.4, so eventually Kayanov might make an offensive on Wimberley, but it just doesn't seem to work. And even then, Wimberley is also seems to be scheming. It's a 0.3 gap, and it's slowly closing down on Carisha, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this little battle works out.
Anyways, Callum Gibbons currently finding an opportunity if I get past the lap car of John Mead in 17th place, which may actually play into the hands of Daniel Bauer once again, Michael Turner and Ri Liu. The difference between these drivers is that they, while Shazren Reza was able to effortlessly pass the lap car, these guys are having more trouble. And look at the gaps closing down because and actually looking at Cal Gibbons, he has actually finally managed to clear the lap car of John Mead. But looking at the top three, they still have some work to do, coming into 3 laps to go.
Yeah, it seems Bauer is going to put up a decent defense, trying to defend that podium for the next, like, 3 or so laps at the moment, which is respectable. I'd do that too, but I don't think they're going to hold out for that long.
And looking into Kaminari Rybak, trying to find a way past Raja Kaczynski. He has the slipstream, he has the draft, the toe, coming into turn 1. Not ahead in braking, so that allows Kaczynski to edge ahead of Kaminari Rybak, coming down to 3 laps to go. And look at Mikolev there, just chilling there because he's basically out of contention.
You gotta respect it.
Well then, anywho, looking at Mikolev, just looking into the scenes at the moment, not looking to find an opportunity at the moment. Right now, Michael Turner trying to find a way past Daniel Bauer, who has now caught up to the lap car at John Mead. Michael Turner and Ri Liu might use the lap car as a pick for them to get their positions. And right now, Shazren Reza have already passed to the start-finish line. And here's another battle here between Croatia and Wimberley. Both sides of Holox currently blocking the way of the lead lap car of Shazren Reza, who has actually managed to cut him off as well. Look at Shazren Reza effortlessly clearing down the lap cars.
This is, that's actually pretty interesting. How does he do it?
Perhaps there's I think it mostly goes down to pace distribution. Remember how he does it against John Mead and how he just effortlessly clears the lap car and just plays with the racing lines very well. I think that plays a part, and also the late pit stop, that also played a part.
Maybe.
Anyways, here's a battle in the penultimate lap of this race. Turner looking to find a way past Bauer, who's currently stuck on the lap car, and now Kaminari Rybak finally completes his dominant attack. He's now currently in 6th place. And with that out of the way, let's take a look back into the progress chart on who gains the most positions. And to no one's surprise, Shazren Reza actually gains 7 positions en route to what should be his first Formula Hololive win, and his 6th win for Himemori Luna, a record for representation, but not a record for the same car. Kaczynski gains 4 positions from 11th, Rybak gains 3 places from 9th, Mikolev gains 5 places from 13th.
Overall, biggest winner obviously Shazren, and biggest loser gotta be I'm sorry Miyamoto, but you just kind of slacked off during that last video.
Anyway, Shazren Reza is on his last lap. He just needs to bring this car home. It has been a topsy-turvy period, a topsy-turvy 3 months for Shazren Reza. There was a bit of an issue coming into the Albright Parade 500 and for the whole GT3 season opener, but he did manage to grab a pole position and a 3rd place to boot. But in Formula Hololive in Split A, he crashed out, spinning at the exit of the final corner at Fuji. But he won in dominating pretty decent fashion in the Holo 27 227 kilometer race. And here in Split A in Autopolis, trying to clear the lap car of Robert Croatia in 12th place. Shazren Reza is en route to show to everyone that he means business in Formula Hololive. He's not just a one-trick pony in Hololive GT3. He also has skills in Formula Hololive. Running out the final corner, we're looking for his 6th win for Himemori Luna. Mohamed Shazren Reza completes his comeback, completes his road to recovery. Shazren Reza wins here in Autopolis.
Yippee.
Meanwhile, we're looking at the battles that have not yet settled here. Croatia has been confirmed to be down a lap. Right now, we're looking at Callum Gibbons, who is looking to score his 2nd consecutive podium and to secure a spot in the lead of the championship. Daniel Bauer 3rd place for him. Very good stuff. Michael Turner also for 4th place. Missing out on the podium for Shogai Noel, but that's pretty much okay. Ri Liu, a very good run for him in the Sakamata Chloe car.
He was too cautious for his own good, I'm going to be honest. If he was a little more aggressive, he'd be able to eat up those positions, but he was just a little too passive.
Anyways, Kaminai Riba currently in 6th place, doing very well to get a comeback from 9th place. Kaczynski and Mikolev riding off a very decent race. Salman finishes inside the top 10 for the 2nd race in a row. Rim Olgor continuing the work of Hans-Heinrich Heinz to finish inside the top 10 in each race. Hopefully just misses out, but that doesn't really matter much. Anyways, it has been a very amazing race for each of these riders.
Indeed. It was a little, got a little silly at times where the pit stops and everything would mess up with times and everything, and people just giving up halfway through the race. But you know what? Overall, it was pretty decent.
And with the results coming in, let's show you the race results for the Autopolis Superprix for Split A. Anyways, let's take a look back here. Winner of this race, getting his 6th win for him, Luna Muhammad Shazren Reza, capping off an amazing performance for him. He secures his 1st win of 2023 in Formula Hololive. Callan Gibbons secures 2nd to consolidate his lead in the championship for Roboco. Daniel Bauer had also a good job to him. He crashed out, finished 15th in his class in the previous race at Fuji, and for him to finally finish in decent fashion at Autopolis is also a good sight for Daniel Bauer. A bit of a shame for Michael Turner to finish 4th in his Noel's home race, but he did what he could. For Ri Liu, another very good performance for him. Finishes 5th for Sakamata Chloe. Kaminari Riba had a very fast charge in through the pack. For Omar Polka, doing very well for Gen 5. Raj Kaczynski is currently the best of the Gen 2 cars for Yusuke Choko in 7th. Sakaji Mikolev for Sakura Miko finishes 8th. Crystal Salman for ASCII finishes 9th. And Rim Olga rounds out the top 10 for Ozora Subaru. Looking into 11th place, Hofumi is in 11th place and looking pretty okay at the moment. Robert Croatia in 12th for Takani Louis. Pretty decent result coming into Takani Louis' birthday stream. Zeke Wimberly in 13th place for Hakui Koiri, doing very well as well. Suri Kayama 14th for Rapa's Darkness, and Griffin Wheatley rounds out the 15 cars that will score points for Kazama Iroha. Makoto Miyamoto fell off very hard in the middle of the race, couldn't score a point in the end at 16. John Mead was nowhere. And then again, Akahato isn't even back to streaming, but I wish Akahato the best of health. And what was hard though, couldn't even complete the first lap. So obviously, it has been a very fun race to host. And without the way, let's take a look back into the replay, and we would like to also thank the compliments for everyone watching. I hope everyone has been enjoying the stream, but before we end the stream, we want to take a look into what happened to Wawan Suharto. So we're gonna go into some sort of intermission before we probably check on Wawan Suharto. So yeah, let's take a look at Wawan Suharto and see what happened to him. Oh dear, that's not looking good.
How does that happen?
So let's take a look back. This is when the... Okay, so I'm just gonna need to fast forward. Okay, so here's the start. Let's look at Wawan Suharto. I think there has been an issue in the car. He has had multiple issues. Oh no.
Yeah,
oh dear.
He just turns like completely left, skids into the wall, you know?
Oh,
like
that has been very poor. That has been a very poor showing for Wawan Suharto. Coming off from a 2nd place, as you can see here. Oh, just couldn't get it turned. So a shame for Wawan Suharto to have this race cut short like this. So let's take a look back at the replay and see what has happened. Oh, and he tries to get back. Yup. A bit of a shame for Wawan Suharto's race to end like this. So yeah, glitch has happened for Wawan Suharto. A bit of a commiseration for all the L friends and Wawan Suharto, Sharanoi Flair. But sometimes it happens. This is just one of those events. So anyways, let's take a look back into the championship standings here to see who is currently leading the standings. To the shock of no one, it's actually Callum Gibbens. So let's take a look back into the championship standing to see who is basically leading this championship. And we have confirmation. Leading by 175 points is Callum Gibbens. And 175 points back is Shazren Reza in second place. Ri Liu in 198 points for Sakamata Chloe in third. Rem Olgor and Juan Suharto stay inside the top 5 despite having their races. In 4th and 5th, Kamina Riba jumps up to 6th, Daniel Bauer up to 7th, Michael Turner and John Mead dropping down a few positions. Hopeful Mead drops down to 10th, and Raj Gazinski, Christoph Salomon, Robert Kurwisha, Isakaj Mikalev, and Gruffin Wheatley inside the top 15. And then we have Sari Kayamov and Zeke Wimberly. Still scoring decent amounts of points. And for Makoto Miyamoto, her run of no points continues unfortunately for her. So with that race out of the way, let's take a look back into the schedule. We had the Autopolis Superprix Split B race coming in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Japan time. So hopefully everyone is able to tune into this race. And with that out of the way, we hope everyone is able to tune into next race. Thanks everyone for watching this basically live stream the race here in Formula Hololive at Autopolis for Split A. I'm Mama Shazren, and alongside me is Zeke Wimberly in the commentary booth, and you've been watching the 2023 Autopolis Superprix at Autopolis for the 2023 Formula Hololive Japan season.